A new state broadband director set to lead in Arizona. Commissioner Jeffrey Starks plans a spring departure from the FCC. Tribal Ready announces a partnership with Cinemedia, free internet to affordable housing locations in Sonoma County, and while streaming subscriptions across the board are way up, Apple TV Plus losing $1 billion per year. Those stories and more on This Week in the Broadband Universe. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Craig Corbett. Effective March 31st, Nick Capozzi will take the helm as Arizona's new state broadband director. Capozzi previously served as state infrastructure coordinator and operations advisor in the governor's office, and also served as a budget and grants analyst in the governor's office of strategic planning and budgeting. Former director Sandy Bomick, who is moving into the private sector, has led the Arizona Broadband Office since February of 2022. The state broadband office, housed within the Arizona Commerce Authority, and has advanced initiatives including the Arizona Broadband Statewide Middle Mile Strategic Plan, the Arizona Rural Broadband Development Grant Program, along with the Federal Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program. FCC Commissioner Jeffrey Starks this week announcing plans to resign from the commission later this spring. By law, the commission cannot be made up of more than 3 commissioners from one party, with 4 commissioners needed to vote on any action. At present, the FCC sits at 2 from each party, with recent nominee Olivia Trusty still awaiting Senate confirmation. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr asking Congress to renew the Commission's Spectrum Auction Authority, which has not been renewed for more than 3 years now. Prior spectrum auctions produced more than $233 billion in federal revenue. In other news from the FCC's Wireline Competition Bureau, adoption of a waiver allowing service providers to retire copper line networks with streamlined procedures. Consumer protections will remain in place as the transition from copper occurs. The FCC has processed more than 400 network change disclosure filings with no opposing comment. Tribal Ready has announced a partnership with Cinemedia that will result in groundbreaking video service delivery to tribal communities across North America. The cloud-powered Cinemedia Senza video platform will enable tribes to deliver hyper-local content and other TV applications without the need for expensive hardware or complex infrastructure. The Board of Supervisors in Sonoma County, California, have given approval to free internet for 1 year to more than 500 affordable housing locations in that county using American Rescue Plan Act funding. Criteria for site selection included distribution among senior housing, families, and low-income workers. The internet subscriptions will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis to eligible residents. Funding will cover equipment rental costs, surcharges, and other fees. SoftBank Group Corporation has announced an agreement to acquire silicon design company Ampere Computing. The all-cash transaction is pegged at a value of $6.5 billion. Ampere will become a wholly owned subsidiary of SoftBank Group. Ampere's lead investors, Carlyle and Oracle Group, will sell their respective stakes in the company. SoftBank Group continues to expand its investments in AI infrastructure, including participation in Stargate, the joint venture to invest up to $500 billion for AI infrastructure in the U.S. That deal expected to close during the second half of the year following regulatory approvals. Elsewhere, NVIDIA has announced AI-driven 6G partnerships with T-Mobile, Cisco, ODC, Booz Allen Hamilton, and nonprofit organization MITRE. The collaborations are anchored in AI native wireless network stacks built on the NVIDIA AI Aerial platform. The aim, integrating artificial intelligence into next-generation network hardware, software, and architecture with new benchmarks in spectral efficiency, network performance, and telco innovation. Tough sledding for the Apple TV Plus premium subscription service. It's bleeding more than $1 billion a year. That according to an anonymously sourced report this week by a publication called The Information. Apple spending $4.5 billion annually on content. That's down from $5 billion a year. And finally, just how much are most consumers paying for streaming services? $129 per month. That from a new survey on the state of the streaming industry from the Harris Poll and Fox's free ad-supported streaming service Tubi. Now that marks an increase of 7.5% year over year. 4 out of 5 subscribers say they expect no ads at all. 81% say watching advertising is a reasonable trade-off for free streaming content. Gen Z viewers are particularly cost-conscious. 76% say they either have or would end a streaming subscription over price hikes. One other interesting finding, 70% of singles evidently won't share streaming passwords with a romantic partner until they DTR, define the relationship. 44% of Gen Z admit using an ex's streaming login even after they broke up. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on This Week in the Broadband Universe.